Loot.
Hey, what's up, bud?
And Burger may or may not be joining us. We have a little bit of scheduling issues this week, so let's get into it. There's a lot to cover. The new season has started, and it's already starting out. It's a pretty interesting new season. The major card is Zabu, which is a 3-cost, 2-power card. Your 4-cost cards cost 2 less, and they can only drop to a minimum of 1. But pretty cool card. I'm having a lot of fun with it. How about you, Luke?
I think the card's really awesome. And not only that, I mean, I'm at end game, so like using him in end game, he's pretty spectacular. But I got a chance today to use him at collection level 136, which my son is at, and he's just as good.
Wow.
Just as good as low level as he is at end game.
Well, there's so many good 4-cost cards. I'm actually using the deck that you had posted, and I'm still pretty low rank because I haven't had a ton of time to play since it's dropped. But I'm churning right through it. It's performing very well. It's really, really good with Spider-Man. I mean, ridiculously good with Spider-Man because you can just lock down the lanes. And
I've been using Spider-Man. I've been doing it 2 ways. Either Spider-Man plus Absorbing Man to lock down Act 2 lanes, or if you want to go 2 Spider-Mans, rocking Moon Girl.
Yeah, I'm using the Moon Girl because I don't have Absorbing Man locked yet. He's one of the few Tier 3 left that I still haven't gotten. So I'm having a ton of fun. Just as soon as I see Spider-Man, if I have Moon Girl, I save it so I can play her. Turn 5, drop Spider-Man in 2 locations. Surprisingly, people haven't been quitting, which I'm kind of shocked by, but it's...
I know! Some people actually think they can win.
Yeah. I did
Crazy.
I did have somebody pull off something a little crazy not the other day, or I think it was this morning, actually. But
Was that versus Darkhawk?
yeah, I think it was. I think Darkhawk dropped. I hadn't seen too many of them, but he's starting to get a little
He's
more
pretty
prevalent.
nasty. I had somebody use Moon Girl with Darkhawk, and they had 2 of them. As soon as they threw down the 2 Darkhawks, I was like, I'm out. Peace. Enjoy.
But
I mean, it was insane. It's just nuts.
I do like seeing a new meta. I was starting to get a little tired of seeing Silver Surfer over and over and over, which I like. Silver Surfer. It's a fun card. I've always liked Silver Surfer comic book wise. Thought he was a cool character, but it's definitely been interesting to see the new meta shifting. Let's talk about some of the other cards. We had Sauron remove the abilities from all ongoing cards in your hand and deck, which is pretty neat. I can see that playing with Patriot decks if you can get Patriot down before you play him. The only problem is that
He's going to be really difficult to play.
yeah,
I mean, with Patriot, because there's a lot of luck involved. It's all about the draw. So, like, if your draw isn't good, I mean, you're not going to, it's 1 of 12 cards.
yeah, I think you're gonna have to run him with a couple other cards like Electro and a few other things. So you have a few different win conditions because you can't just rely on that. But I think there could be some pretty neat decks to be made there.
It will turn all of those cards into just plain old cards.
Yeah. So
Basically, it's a leech, but you do it to yourself, and it affects all of your cards.
yeah, I still haven't quite figured out exactly how they work. I mean, I guess Red Skull. I don't know. There's a few of them out there that might make sense.
Typhoid Mary,
Yeah.
Red Skull. I'm trying to think of the other cards that punish you. I can't think right this moment, but any card that you would play with 0, you don't have to use 0. It's just all of your cards are just ready to go.
Yeah. So I do think there's going to be some interesting decks that could be made with him. I like his addition. I think it's going to be kind of interesting. I think eventually, I don't know, in Hearthstone they have cards that, you can draw 3, like one of the cards, I can't remember in Hearthstone, a couple of different variations of this, where you see 3 cards from your deck that are a certain power or energy cost, and then you can pick one of the 3. So that way you have more opportunity to pick the cards you actually want to get.
So that would be really cool, but it's very similar. Like, I don't know if you ever played Pokemon, but
No.
Pokemon has cards that are like that, where like you can look at the top three cards of your deck, and then you can pick one of the three, or you can look at the first five and then pick one, or something like that.
Yeah,
Very similar.
I won't be shocked at
That
all.
would be cool.
I wouldn't be shocked at all to see that enter this game at some point, and I think that will get rid of some of the variation. Problem is our decks are a lot smaller than Hearthstone, so it almost makes it like you're guaranteed to draw those certain cards. So I could see where that might make a stale
Well, it's
meta.
only 12 cards.
Yeah,
Now, Pokemon, it's there's a lot of cards. What
and
is it, a 60 card deck?
and I think Hearthstone's 40, so yeah,
So I mean, it's a lot of cards. This is just 12 cards.
yeah. So
So
it might not make sense
that
to do
might
it.
be that just might be too overpowered. I mean, you're literally cherry picking your best cards. I mean, you could pretty much just play whatever you want. I don't know if that actually would ever happen.
Yeah,
That
that's
might be too. That might be too much.
yeah. I could see them doing something, but they would really have to restrict it somehow because otherwise it'd just make the meta too stale because you're guaranteed to get the card you want.
Yeah, totally agree.
The next card is Shayna, the She Devil, or Shanna, and on reveal.
Shauna,
Yeah, I'm not sure the pronunciation.
Shayna,
One of those two.
could be.
The She Devil on reveal add a random one cost card to each location. I think that's kind of cool. It'd be good with Khazar decks. I'm sure there's some other. I mean, she's if you're running her with Zabu, she's only two cost to get two extra one card mana, one cost cards. So she could be pretty interesting. I mean, she's not crazy good, I don't think, especially since they're random. But interesting card. I think will enable some Kazoo type of decks. So could be
Yeah,
fun.
I'm curious to see how it works. I mean, it could be fun. Could be cool.
The other one we have is Dazzler. If you have four cards at each location plus six power, I do like this card. I think being a 4/4 and then becoming a 4/10, and then with Zabu being a 2/10, and if you're running her with Moon Girl and you get two of her or Absorbing Man or something along those lines, she'll be able to. And it's pretty easy to fill locations. I'm thinking Ultron right away with her.
Yeah, I mean, I can fill all four locations very easily, either running a Surfer deck or a Zabu deck. Very, very easily. And on a regular basis, I'll fill all four. I'll fill all three locations with four cards.
Yeah, so she's got a lot of potential. I mean, it's a pretty strong card for cheap cost.
Is that a Series 5? That's
I,
like the going to be the new Series 5 card?
yeah, yeah, these are all series 5.
Okay.
So she's the third week of the month, and then the final one we get is Shadow King. He's a 4/3 on reveal. Set all cards here to their original base power. I think this can be a pretty good pretty often use tech card because I mean you can basically take a lane and reduce all Silver Surfer, all Patriot, any of the.
Yeah, it negates Surfer and Patriot, Blue Marvel, Khazar, anything that does a power increase, it'll just take it back down. Cerebro.
Yeah, so I think he'll see a decent amount of play. If any of those metas become
Is
particularly
that
overwhelming.
all three lanes, or is that just the lane that he's in?
Just the lane that he's in, it looks like.
So it's very similar to Valkyrie.
Yeah.
Very similar to Valkyrie. Could be a niche card. I don't know. It's definitely a control card.
Yeah, he's released on January 31st. They're saying Dazzler is the 24th, Shanna's the 17th, Sauron's the 10th, and then Silver Surfer actually today joined Series 5.
Oh, cool.
So anybody who didn't get them,
I'm pretty sure that tonight I'll be able to get Darkhawk. And I made a decision not to get Shuri first, just because Darkhawk really jives with Zabu. And I really want to try him. I want to make that deck because
Yeah.
it looks so fun.
not to mention he has one of the coolest variant arts that I've ever seen. I saw it on Twitter. I think Dexter put it on there. It was really cool.
Yeah, I'm really digging the card. I want it. I'm only 400 tokens away, and that's one cash.
The next thing that they did is there's 5 brand new locations. So the first one is Rickety Bridge. After each turn, if there's more than one card here, destroy them. Is it just me, or does it seem like destroy decks benefit from these locations more than any other archetype?
Yeah, I've been noticed that also. Or yeah, because like even the one that's today, and we're today. What's the location called? I don't remember what it's called, but it whoever the loser is gets a rock.
Oh yeah, yeah,
You might want to be the loser so that you can just eat it with Carnage.
yeah. I actually desk pulled Venom. It was the last pieces I need for a destroy deck. So I'm actually thinking about messing around with it just for that reason, especially with a couple of these. There's another one here. The next one, which also fits into that same theme, is Altar of Death. When you play a card here, destroy it to get +2 energy next turn. The question that I have that a lot of people are wondering is, do you get to choose if you want to destroy it to get +2 energy, or does it
No,
automatically?
no, I don't think so. I
Well,
think you
it says
literally
destroy
just
it to get +2 energy. It doesn't mean it's always. I mean, I'm not sure if that means it always happens. And if it,
yeah, but that would mean a prompt would have to come up on the screen. Do you want to destroy? I don't see that happening.
it's possible they added it. I mean, that's in a lot of the
You
other
think
card games.
so?
Yeah, I could see that happening. I mean, look at Daredevil, for example. Letting you see the enemy turn first. That wouldn't be that hard for them to do.
Okay.
I mean, I could be
All right.
completely
I'm
wrong.
looking forward to seeing what it looks like.
I mean, it'd be great once again, and if it always destroys, destroy decks are going to benefit. You just drop a destroy. You drop Bucky Brooks, get your 2 energy, get your bigger tune card.
Yeah, I would probably when that's like the hot location, I'll probably run a deck that uses like a couple one cost cards to just throw in the pit,
Either way, it's probably
throw in the altar.
yeah. Next one is Eternity Range. After turn 3, add a rock to the losing player's side. Once again, it's another. Oh, that's the
That's
one
what
we got,
we're
right?
using.
Yeah,
That's today.
yeah, that just happened today, so that's the one we got. Then this one I think is very interesting that we'll be getting Plunder Castle. Only cards that cost 6 can be played here. I do think that's pretty interesting because if we're using
You can't use cost reduction then, right?
exactly. So I think that at least during that weekend, I know sometimes people are like, oh, it's too long to have a hot location. I like the hot locations because it shakes things up. Because otherwise, it's just going to be the same thing over and over and over. And something like that is really going to shake the meta because you're going to have to play something different.
Yeah, that location's gonna take finesse. You're gonna have to really construct the deck where you can actually use that location. And
Especially
if you
if,
use cost reduction, you can't.
yeah, I think Sarah will be limited, see limited play for a change. I think that will be fun. That'd be an interesting one.
Yeah, totally agree.
The last one is Collapsed Mine. Fill this location with rocks. Skip a turn to destroy your rocks. So that's
I don't really understand what that means.
well, it means that if you, I mean, it'd be good, I guess, with like I just blanked out his name, the 20 cost guy.
Infinaut?
Yeah, Infinite. Playing something like that, so you're gonna skip turn 5 to let your rocks get destroyed, or maybe you just want the rocks because you're running a Patriot deck. So
So like as long as you don't use that turn, the rocks then disappear.
exactly. I think Patriot's gonna see a lot of play that weekend.
Yeah, but if you see but you can't skip your turn, you gotta keep playing.
Yeah, or you're just gonna
Right?
run. Depending if they're one cost, then you'll just run. I'm blanking out everybody's names right now. The guy who AoEs and kills everybody.
Shang-Chi?
No, the one cost destroyer.
Oh, Destroyer.
No, not destroyer. The 3 cost guy. He costs 3. He kills all the one cost cards.
Oh, Killmonger.
Yeah, Killmonger. I got some editing due to there.
Yeah, you're just blanking it. It's because you're gonna turn into a pumpkin.
Yeah, it's freaking late. Um, next, brand new card variants. I love a lot of these. She-Hulk looks really good. Enchantress looks really good. Shiri looks amazing. Really like that one.
Yeah, they're all very Amazon themed.
Yeah, Sabretooth
Um,
looks awesome. I like the darker art. White Tiger, probably my favorite of the bunch, actually. That one looks so good.
They're
That
all really, really, really good.
Yeah, and that the She-Hulk, Enchantress, and Shuri you get from, I think those are just ones that you randomly get through climbing the ladder. But they're doing bundles that you can purchase. So Sabretooth is one of them, White Tiger is another, and Craven is the third. They all look really good in my opinion. You get boosters with them and credits. I'm disappointed you're not getting tokens. I
They're getting real stingy with these tokens.
really stingy, but on one hand, it makes it so that the game stays free to play, very free to play friendly. I mean, really, the only thing that you really want to spend on is the $10 on the ladder or on
So let's
the
talk
pass.
about that for just a moment. The game actually really could be free to play, but somehow I'm wailing beyond comprehension.
I've spent a fortune too, but that's because I can't stop buying variants.
I have not bought variants. I just buy credits
See,
and missions.
I never run out of credits, but you play a ton,
Dude,
so
I play so much. Like I will never, ever, ever run out of boosters.
yeah. See, I don't. I never.
Some of my cards, I have over 1,000 boosters.
And because I buy everything, I don't buy the credits, but I buy all the packs that come out, and I buy gold all the time. And then I do refresh my missions because I play in bursts. Um, I actually always cap on credits all the time, and I never have enough boosters.
It's a good thing they raised it because you would be capping at 5,000.
Oh yeah, yeah, it's terrible. I've gotten a little better because I've been playing a lot more than recently, where I
They really should raise it to 25,000.
yeah. I mean,
That would be better.
I guess it doesn't matter for most people. I'm like in the 1% of people that have extra credits, and I need more
Yeah,
boosters.
I mean everybody else that we talk to, they never had they can't get enough credits.
Yeah, I don't know. It's
You're
weird.
the only person that like can't get rid of your
I
credits.
think it's because I buy so many variants though, because I'm always my boosters go to the cheaper ones, so I have a ton of characters to spread it out. I
Oh,
think that's
yeah,
the reason,
maybe.
because I'm constantly buying variants.
I don't. I only buy variants of like the ones that I absolutely love
I
because
probably
they're like $10 a piece.
I probably buy one a day at minimum,
You buy one a day.
at
I
least.
buy I buy like one a not even one a week. I think I bought maybe three or four total.
Every time it refreshes, there's usually 1 to 3 that I want. So it's, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna
And
stop
then
buying
like
them.
I
Yeah,
make sure like that the one that because they have different variations of rarity.
I know, I know.
So I'm not going to buy the one that's like likely to come up just from the collector reserves.
And I don't even know which
So
ones those are, but I did get a black and white Mr. Negative this morning. The inky ones. I love those.
you mean from a split?
No, 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 no. I bought it. It was a variant.
Oh, for 700
Yeah, it's
gold?
not the inky
Yeah,
split. It's the
I
black and
have
white
that one.
version.
I
Yeah.
have that one. Yeah.
The last bundle they have, the big one, is going to be the Dino Size bundle. That one comes with 5,000 credits, so I can be way over the cap. And it's a Devil Dinosaur. It looks really cool. Comes with
I
300
think that
boosters.
one's going to be $100.
Yeah, that's probably the $100 one. It should come with tokens
But,
if it's $100
but
though.
I cut you off for a second. Continue what you were saying of what else it comes with because
Oh,
it's a lot of stuff.
310 Devil Dinosaur boosters. The title, Please Do Not Step on Me. A Devil Dinosaur variant, and you get the avatar with it. So it's probably gonna be expensive. If you're gonna pay $100, I really, really wish you got um,
Tokens?
tokens with it. Like it feels like that should come with that, but probably not gonna. You're not gonna need to buy it for any reason unless you don't have Devil Dinosaur. Then you probably want it. He's pretty easy to get though because he's tier 1, or tier 2. He's early, so you'll get him early. Good card. I'll buy it because I buy everything. But
Devil Dinosaur's awesome. Really solid card.
yeah, I mean, he's used in so many decks. All right, let's get on to, because we got a lot to cover and we're trying to keep this in 30 minutes. We have, there was supposed to be a patch today. We're recording this on January 4th. And the patch, unfortunately, did not come. However, there was a leak that Ben Brode confirmed the leak. He didn't actually say he confirmed it, but he responded to many of the things that happened in it. So I'm going to take that as confirmation. Had a lot of the nerfs and changes and all the things for the big patch that we're looking at. So it's go to my
I know those patch notes are so long. I think maybe let's just hit the highlights.
yeah, we'll just hit the highlights. The patch notes had a lot of good stuff. It was from some Korean site. Sounds like it is a legit leak. So some of these things may be slightly different. The big, they had some small buffs, which I like the way, I know a lot of people are complaining about some of the changes on here. I like how they just do very incremental ups and downs and see how it goes. But there were buffs to Drax, where his base power was increased by 1. Groot, same thing. Hazmat got his power increased by 1. Black Cat went from 3 to 6 to 3 to 7. Nakia went from 3-1 to 3-2. So those are the buffs that were shown in here. Any of those stand out to you, Luke?
I think they're all good. I mean, I don't like a big swing
Yeah.
when it comes to I like these incremental changes. And you know what? If they're not good enough, I can almost bet that within a month or even whenever the next patch is, they'll just update it again.
Yeah, and it's funny because when we play a lot of other mobile games, and sometimes they never do anything, or they wait 6 months, 3 to 6 months for to do anything, and people in this game don't realize how good they have it sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, this is like pretty instant. This is like instant.
Yeah,
If you look at all the other games, there are always changes and always balances, but it's never this frequent.
no,
This is really frequent, once a month or even sometimes twice a month. I mean, that's big.
yeah, it's great. The nerfs, Arrow went from 5.8 to 5.7. She was originally buffed, so they think that people realized how good she is. The big ones that people have been asking for, Galactus went from 6.3 to 6.2. I don't really see that making any change. Do you, Lou? You have him, correct?
I have him and I use him.
Do you, th-
Um,
do you think this is going to change
oh,
his viability at all?
no, I think he's still going to be used, and I think you can still win. But I can tell you there have been many, many matches where I won by 1 point.
Okay.
So what that would do, they definitely do math when they make it like when they do these changes. There's no doubt in my mind they really figured it out. They're like, well, if you play this, 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 and that, or you play this and this, and you do that, and you do this combo, you do that combo, this scenario will win, this scenario will lose. Like, I feel like there's going to be more ties because there's a lot of times where I'll win by just one.
Okay. Well, I really don't see this changing things much. Problem is very few people have Galactus, so it's going to be a while before we see how.
Or there's a lot of times actually lately I've tied. So that'll mean I'll lose.
Right. The other big one, and this is the
So
one people have talked about the most, is Leader, because he's prevalent. A lot of people have him. I am in the camp. I don't really see the problem. I haven't, like, when I use him,
his problem's not his power.
yeah, his power makes no difference. I don't really find him
He can be
impressive
a
at all.
6-0.
Yeah,
They literally could just make him 6-0. He doesn't even have to have anything. He could just be 6-0. And I would think he would, that's not even a nerf to me. I don't even, when I use him, I don't even care about his 4. His 4 is like a bonus.
the only thing is that I really, like, I just don't see him as oppressive. Like, I rarely lose against him. I rarely win when I use him. Granted, maybe that's just because I'm bad, but
You have to have 2 locations locked down.
yeah, you basically have to already be winning, and you just
You have to be winning. And if you're not, they're just going to, it's just going to be a copy. And you're just going to lose because it's a copy.
right. So I mean, I don't know. I don't see what the hubbub is about him. I know a lot of people think he's the most OP card in the game. I don't really see it personally. So they said that they're still going to look at it. They might, some of the comments he made was he's looking at possibly changing it to just that lane. There's a lot of things they're looking at, so they're going to monitor it, see how it goes, see how it changes with the meta shifting. And then the last one was Nova went from a 1-2-1 to a 1-1. Nova is used a ton. I don't think it makes any difference because nobody plays Nova for its power. You're going to eat Nova.
No,
So
it
once
could be a
again,
1-0.
so I'm not sure what the point of that is. I don't think Nova's overpowered either, so I'm not really worried
I
about
think
that.
it could be a 1-0. I don't even think it needs power. Its power is to get destroyed.
The only other big thing in here that I see a lot of people complaining about is they're going to do, well, first they're going to do for new players, they're going to make it so that you can take 8 common cards to infinity and give you 12,500 credits and a pro bundle available as a one-time purchase to kind of help a catch-up mechanic, which I think is a good idea. And then the other thing that people have kind of been out of shape for, but Ben Brode was responding on this, is now the number of collector's tokens received by collecting all Series 3 cards with collector's treasure will change. Individual payout tokens are not set to 400, but will be 200 to 600. However, tokens...
That's what it is. Meanwhile, that it's not all that different now.
It's
I
going to be
don't get
exactly the same.
400. No,
Yeah.
I don't get 400 out of each one. Sometimes I get 100.
Right.
So what's the difference?
Yeah, I guess it's just going to be variable, but you're going to average 400 just like you did before. So, I don't know.
Actually, a lot of the cash that I open are 100. Like, I do get a bunch that's 400, but I feel like I get more that's 100. It almost sounds like a buff to me.
I don't know. Then I guess there was a lot of bug fixes. That's pretty much the extent of it. Some visual effects, a couple different things, whenever they do it, the game takes forever to destroy or something like that. A lot of those
Yeah,
things
that's a huge fix. I mean, I'm so happy they fixed it. The other thing that they're fixing is it's like a memory overload or some kind of like memory leak where basically the game crashes. Like when there's certain situations that happen to me very frequently lately. Like if there's too much stuff going on, my game crashes. Like if Zola's used with
Yeah, I had that happen. I've had that
Hulkbuster,
happen to me a couple times.
my game just crashes. Sometimes the Galactus animation crashes my game. Lots of things happen.
The Galactus
And
animation feels
when
almost appropriate sometimes, though, because it's so epic.
it's so great, it just totally it's so great it destroys my game.
And I think that this is a very news-centric episode. Next week we'll have a very cool guest, hopefully, and we'll talk a little bit about the gameplay and all the different things that are happening in Marvel Snap. And this podcast should resume to a weekly schedule where we're kind of hammering out the specific date that the episodes will be released on, but we're going to try to get that onto a very consistent basis. So with that, everyone, stay tuned. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening.